Okay, what is the point of this letter? What's the point? What is the purpose of the writer? Excuse me. What's the purpose? I see the money. That's the whole point. Right. And that comes here. Please make a special contribution. By the way, this Susan Webster, no relation. All right. Completely. I have no idea who it is. Right. You know, it's an interesting text. There's a book that is just includes analyses of this text. And you have analyses from all very different views on text linguistics. Halliday has one chapter in it. There's another chapter related to rhetorical structure theory. And there are various other chapters as well. The whole book is just analyzing this letter and different approaches to doing so. Today, though, we're focused on rhetorical structure theory. Do we see anything here that gives us some idea about how the text proceeds? Let's begin at the beginning. At 7 a.m., October 25th, our phone started to ring. Calls jammed our switchboard all day. Staffers stayed late into the night answering questions, talking with reporters from newspapers, radio stations, wire services, and TV stations in every part of the country. What is that? That's a little narrative. That's a story. It's beginning with a story. How is a story sort of told? A story is told in terms of a sequence of time. And so what do we see at 7 a.m.? Well, that's how it begins. That's what? Morning, right? But what do you notice here? All day into the night. That's the focus. And so it proceeds. There's obviously a sequence here. Morning, all day, into the night. So we can easily see a kind of relation here involving the sequence 4, 5, and 6. Morning, day, and night. Now, let me go back to the text itself. What about 6B, 6C? What were they doing late into the night? Well, answering questions, talking with reporters from newspapers. So what is 6B and 6C? What is it doing? It is elaborating on what they were doing at night. They stayed late into the night. What were they doing? Answering questions, talking with reporters. So this whole part here, 4, 5, 6, well, that's really rather easy because it's very much laid out for us, all right? And it's typical of a narrative, typical of a story. A story is told in terms of a sequence of time. 9A and 10A, what's the difference between them? Well, again, it's very much put there in theme position. What kind of theme? Textual themes. Textual themes. At first, now. What is the relation? At first, the deluge of calls came mostly from reporters eager to tell the public about the urban stress test results and outraged public officials. 10. Now we are hearing from concerned citizens. Okay, read it. What is it? At first, now, is it sequence? It could be, but on the other hand, if you read it, it's at first, it was reporters and people outraged about it. Now, what is it? Hearing from concerned citizens in all parts of the country. sort of a contrast. Again, we have that contrast between 9 and 10. $11. Now, this is what you should be looking for. What have I highlighted here? Now, I want you to tell me. 11A, ZPG's 1985 urban stress test, etc., etc. 12, it. What is it? Referencing the urban stress test. What about 13, the urban stress test? What ties 11, 12, and 13 all together? That thread, that thematic progression, that continuous thematic progression. 11 through 13, you can see already is one functionally significant span of text. By repeating what's there at the beginning, what the writer is doing is informing you, is giving you an idea of what the coherent structure is of the text. You see, yeah, functionally significant spans of text. When they are related one to the other, what are you producing? A coherent text. And so we've always gone back to these 2 points. What is cohesive? What is coherent? And so 11 through 13, thematic progression, ZPG's 1985 urban stress test. It, the urban stress test, repeating it. Sometimes it's referencing a pronoun, sometimes actually repeating it. You don't forget it. 11 through 13, the span. Identifiable from a continuous thematic progression. Now, how is it related to what comes in 14? What? Now you already know what's coming, right? But what's what telling you here? It was just telling you how wonderful this urban stress test is. It's great, all right? This was what's been described. But now, to use it well. You can say it's all well and good, but in order for it to actually achieve its purpose, what do you need to do? Well, that is what's going to be laid out in what follows. To use it well, we urgently need your help. Already getting to the point, all right? We need your help. Our small staff is being swamped with requests for more information, and our modest resources are being stretched to the limit. And then we come back to the point. Your support now is critical. This is very often a device that is used. It's called sandwiching. You sandwich between, on the one hand, you're saying, we urgently need your help. Your support now is critical. But inside of that is what? Why? Why is it critical? Why do they need your help? And here's the reason. Our small staff is being swamped with requests for more information. Our modest resources are being stretched to the limit. This is the reason. This is what should motivate you to give. That's the writer's idea. What is the nucleus then? If I look at 14, 15, and 16, what's the nucleus? The nucleus is what is going to compel you to give. We are swamped. Our resources are being stretched to the limit. The need. We urgently need your help. Our small staff. Now, this is the nucleus. And 14 is sort of, we need your help. 16, we need your help. Both sort of satellites of 15. Well, what is 15? What is the relationship here then? What is the relationship? We're going to discuss that when we come back from the break. All right, so stay tuned. All right, we'll see you in about 10 minutes, please. All right. Can I just say one thing in response to your question before? I don't mean by that you can't ask me questions beforehand. All right. If you're working on your text and you come to an issue, you don't really know how to resolve it, you're confused or anything like that, ask me. But ask me specific questions. Don't give me the whole thing. If you do, that is what I will assess. All right. But you can ask me specific questions about how should I deal with this. All right. I don't need to review that. All right. Let's take the break, please. I did want to say that. Okay, I wanted to just mention, for some of you were not here at the beginning. So very quickly, to explain about your assignment. For the rest of you, I'm sorry to repeat, all right, but we will have, the essays the analysis that you're going to be doing. The analysis that for your final assignment, you're going to do an analysis of the text. That text you'll be analyzing in terms of the clause, theme, transitivity, logical structure. I've laid out sort of a plan in terms of deadline for when you should submit it. Commentary on the text will be due much later toward the end of the term. What I would recommend for you, would ask you to use, is the Excel template. I didn't mention this before. You have that template in order to put in your data as far as theme, transitivity, and logical. So I'd ask you to use that when you do your analysis. Of course, the clause-based analysis, that is entering the tags into the text itself, like we've done before. The analysis involves essays that are from the IELTS model answers and 9 model answers for the task 2. And this is, for example, text 30. That is not assigned to anybody. All right. And that one is to illustrate, and I explained how I assigned you the particular text. I ran it through a randomizer 1 through 24, came with this numbers, and assigned the essays accordingly. So any of you who came in late, check this out in terms of what it is you were assigned. I will put the PowerPoint on, as I've done before, on campus, and I will also put the list with the number FA that you'll be doing. I hope that's clear for those of you that came in later. Back to the text. So our question was 14, 15, and 16. 14, we need your help. 16, your support now is critical. Sandwiched in between is the statement of need. So what we might conclude, now what's interesting here, remember what I told you before, that if you take the rhetorical structure schema that you draw, and if I follow the sort of vertical lines, which would be the nucleus or the nuclei, all right, of the text, and if I follow through all this beginning part up to where it asks for money, which is in clause 22, here is, if you'll notice, is 4. Why are they asking for money? This is the nucleus. of the whole beginning part. So we follow through, and what is the core? The idea is our small staff is being swamped with requests for more information. Our modest resources are being stretched to the limit. We are in a situation where we greatly need, and this need, this sort of desperate need for money, we hope is going to give you the idea that you need to give. So the result, cause we can say, for you to give money is the need. What do we mean by result? Now, if you take a look at here again, you have to go back to the definitions of the relations in order to know which relation you use here. There is non-volitional cause and volitional cause, but there's also non-volitional result and volitional result. Now, which do you use here? Is what is the cause of what? Well, if I use result, notice the nucleus caused the satellite. The nucleus, their desperate situation, prompted, caused them to say, we need your help. That's how I interpret it. So, in this case, it's a result is the nucleus caused the satellite. The nucleus, we're being swamped. We're desperate. That is the cause for you now to feel you should be giving. Now, what is non-volitional? What's volitional? Non-volitional means that it has nothing to do with sort of you are doing something. It's not, it's sort of, well, let's take a look at two examples. In volitional result, Farmington police had to help control traffic recently. When hundreds of people lined up to be among the first applying for jobs at the yet-to-open Marriott Hotel, the hotel's help wanted announcement for 300 openings was a rare opportunity for many unemployed. This is the cause. This is the result. The police had to control traffic. What was the cause? The cause was the hotel's help wanted announcement, which made people line up. That is volition. That is an action that is being carried out that is leading to the outcome that the police had to manage. Non-volitional, the blast, the worst industrial accident in Mexico's history, destroyed the plant and most of the surrounding suburbs. It's a blast. There's nothing to do with people, nothing to do with any volitional action. It is a bomb went off. You don't mention anything about anybody on that bomb. You don't know what caused that bomb. You don't know what caused the explosion. Then it might have been a gas leak or who knows what. But it wasn't anything there in this which indicated that the blast was volition. So it's non-volition. The nucleus, what do you decide is the nucleus? More central to the writer's purpose. Okay, go back to what is more central here? What is the nucleus? The nucleus is the need. Because this is what's going to prompt you later and be the motivation for you to give money. The need is most compelling. Nineteen A, 19B, again, concession, very obviously, even though. 22, please make a special contribution to zero population growth today. The whole point of this is to lead up to this point in 22. That is the whole purpose. And the whole part of this is when you have something which is a request, you can look up the definition for motivation. Motivation is when you're telling somebody to do something. And you're giving them the reason for why. You're telling them the motivation for doing so. That motivation is what's expressed here. That motivation is, as we saw, the core part of that. There is great need. That's why I'm asking. This is why we call it rhetorical construction. It is the argument that is being made. It is understanding how that the text not only is coherent, but how it pursues a particular agenda of the writer or either the speaker. All right, take a look at the next text, would you please? What you see on the screen is only part of a complete email. It was sent out to those who had indicated interest in Obama's campaign.